Hello, 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 and welcome to the TNA Impact on Pop review show. This is for August 25th, 2016. Let me pull up my notes right quick. So I just want to start off by saying that I'm going to do a SmackDown versus Raw review some point during the week. But I'm going to start with TNA because there is more wrestling out there than just the E-Fed. So this episode kicked off. We have Drew Galloway and EC3 out by a pool, and they are having some kind of summit, and they want to talk about their issues over some whiskey. Now, this is clearly a bottle of Jack Daniels they have, but they have tape over it to make it look like some kind of Japanese whiskey. I mean, maybe it is, but it looks like it's a Jack Daniels bottle covered up with tape. I guess nice going there, TNA. And then we have a battle royal to figure out the contender for the TNA World Heavyweight Championship. In this match is Robbie E, Jesse Godderz, The Tribunal, Eli Drake, Moose, Eddie Edwards, Miracle, Mike Bennett, Grotto. I'm missing somebody, but it's what it is because that person clearly didn't win. I'm sick of battle royals and these little number one contender tournaments with a bunch of people. I get that they want wrestling to seem real, like this is a real competition, but it's just getting tiring because it's happening on every show of mostly WWE. This is not a TNA problem, it's more of a WWE problem, but TNA did have this match as well. I just want more good rivalries, some character development to cause storylines rather than just a bunch of matches to lead to other matches. That gets tiring and boring in my opinion. So anyway, the Miracle Mike Bennett wins that match, and I just want to say that Mike Bennett is looking more and more like Heath Slater. If you look at him from the side view, you might mistake him for Heath Slater, and I don't know if that's a good thing for Mike Bennett, seeing as Heath Slater is this huge jobber in WWE, and I don't think you want one of your up-and-coming stars in TNA to look like a jobber, but what are you going to do? The Battle Royal was meh, like most Battle Royals are. We get a nice broken Matt Hardy Bound for Glory ad. He says, "Bound for Glory, I knew you'd come." Matt Hardy is the best thing in wrestling right now. I think that should be agreed by everyone. Maybe not the WWE marks, because they're WWE marks, but Matt Hardy has a character. The best character in wrestling right now by far, because there's really not a lot of characters in these other entertainment wrestling. That's WWE. I don't know why they're called WWE and not have, more characters for entertainment, but Matt Hardy is brilliant. His broken brilliance is pretty brilliant. Matt Hardy then comes out for a promo. Jeff Hardy comes out afterwards as well. Or should I say, Brother Nero comes out. So Matt Hardy is out with the contract that Brother Nero won last week. He says it is his destiny to be the tag team champions, and that the titles are currently decaying and can only be restored by his broken brilliance. When Brother Nero comes out, the fans are chanting the "I'll fade away and declare myself as obsolete." Matt says that Nero doesn't have to be there, but Brother Nero says that he is there to work and wrestle and win for him and his creatures of the night. Matt is happy that Jeff is here to work, but then out comes Rosemary laughing it up. She taunts Matt from the crowd. She says that the Hardys are silly, basically, and so full of worry what everyone thinks of them, well, what everyone thinks of Jeff. She says that Decay will never let Hardy had the tag team championships. Abyss then comes out, does his thing. Crazy Steve comes out and does his thing. Oh, Crazy Steve says that Matt isn't broken yet, but decay will shatter him. Oh, Matt then talks about this premonition he had, and he knows which member of Decay tried to abduct King Maxwell. He saw this in one of his premonitions. For that sin, Matt Hardy will eat them. Rosemary says that Decay do not play by the rules, and Hardy responds that they don't even know what his rules are. This all leads to a match between Jeff Hardy and Abyss. Oh, the match was okay, I guess. But of course, Matt Hardy was the high point of all of this, per usual, because he has an awesome character right now. During the match, Matt reveals that it was Crazy Steve in his premonition and starts biting Crazy Steve's ear and face, which starts bleeding. Rosemary, however, interferes in the match while this is going on, which costs Brother Nero the match, and Abyss wins. After the match, Matt says Brother Nero, Grasshopper, has much to learn. He says that Top Rope cost him hit so much, his health, this fight. It will not cost Broken Matt Hardy the Tag Team Championships. He must accept that he is broken. So yes, this was the highlight of the night. As usual, Matt Hardy is the highlight of the night come Impact Wrestling. Then we cut to the back, which we see Maria with Allie and Sienna. Maria's upset with Allie because Sienna was booked in a title match. She wants to know who went over her head for this, and enter Billy Corgan. He made the match because he is now the president, and he says that Sienna is going to be in this match against more than just one person. Also, we have a confrontation between Michael Bennett, aka Heath Slater Jr. He's with Lashley. Bennett says he just beat like 100 guys in that one match, even though there was 8, but whatever. Lashley's glad that Bennett is confident, and he says that he will beat whoever he has to at Bound for Glory between Galloway and Carter. And I think a match is made between Bennett and Lashley next week on Impact. Off to the TNA Knockout title match between Sienna, Madison Rayne, Allie, Marty Bell, and Jade. Allie's excited to be participating, but Sienna pushes her back like a good old running back, stiff arm to the face, to not get too happy about being in this match. Allie, of course, keeps mucking it up in that match, and which costs Sienna a lot of moves. Allie only hits one move in this match, kind of a jawbreaker type deal. Then, let's see, Jade hits Madison with a package pile driver. Marty Bell has the baton, and Allie tries to have a little tug of war with her to get the baton so she doesn't use it, but this knocks Allie into Sienna. Sienna goes out of the ring, and then Marty Bell cracks Allie in the head with it, but Allie falls on Madison Rayne, who's down. Jade drop kicks Marty Bell, and Allie, meanwhile, is getting the 3 count and becomes the new knockout champion. Maria and Sienna are freaking out on the outside. This was all... it wasn't a great match, but it was a great ending, in my opinion. Good booking on the finish. Allie is KO'd, still doesn't even know she won the match, but is elated when Earl Hebner has to tell her that she did in fact win the match. When we come back, we have Aaron Rex in the back talking about EC3 versus Drew Galloway tonight and how he wanted to be the ref for this match. Then cut to Allie, who is, so elated because she just won the championship. Did you hear them chanting her name out there? That was my Allie impression. It wasn't that great, but I tried. She is asked about what Maria is going to think of this, and she just says, "Oh," and stares off, kind of nervous. Back to Drew Galloway and EC3, and this happened earlier in the week, I guess, when they were having their summit to discuss how they're always in each other's business. They hash out their differences over their Japanese Jack Daniels. At the end of this vignette, Carter turns back around to look at Galloway, and Galloway tosses him into the pool. I didn't really like this vignette, to be honest. It was one of the low points of the night. Acting, Then we have an outside vignette with Lashley, who rolls up on Moose. He says that Moose isn't always going to need people like Mike Bennett. Lashley invites Moose to dinner and says that maybe Moose will be lucky and he can even pick up the tab. Lashley drives off. Then we have an in-ring segment of Fact of Life with Eli Drake. He is out there with the X Division. He is pressing his button a lot, of course. He talks about the X Division and who's going. He doesn't want to ask something boring like, why are you going to win? He wants to know who doesn't have a chance of winning this match. Rockstar Spud is the person who says that Braxton Sutter has no chance. Braxton says Spud is basically whining. Drake says that nobody in the ring has really convinced them that they are going to win the X Division Championship, or that they really want it, or that they're going to live up to a guy like Bobby Lashley. DJZ says Drake doesn't know anything about the X Division. This was the heart and soul of TNA, and he shouldn't be after the X Division like this. Eli once again keeps hitting his dummy yeah button over and over as it comes over the speakers. He keeps doing it until it's annoying. DJZ dares him to press the button one more time, but DJ pushes the podium over right before Eli is about to smack the button. This leads to a huge brawl between all the X Division people out there, but Eli just keeps pressing his button. They announced that next week is the Ultimate X Gauntlet match for the first time ever for the X Division Championship. Plus, Mike Bennett will be taking on Bobby Lashley. And now to the main event of the evening. The main event was the winner basically gets a shot at Bobby Lashley in the TNA Championship at Bound for Glory. The special guest ref is Aaron Rex. And it's Drew Galloway versus the ass-kicking machine Ethan Carter. The match itself was okay. I mean, it was probably the best match of the night, which isn't saying much because most of the matches were subpar, really. But to me, I'm not a huge match guy like a lot of people, especially on the internet, are. I mean, I like a good match, of course, but I'm so glad to see characters in TNA, which, in my opinion, puts you a notch over WWE because they struggle to have characters these days. Now, I really don't like how Damien Sandow has debuted here in TNA as Aaron Rex, because it reminds me of when Bret Hart debuted in WCW and he was just a ref for the main match at Starrcade. It was kind of a weak entrance. It has fallen pretty flat for me, even though I enjoyed Damien Sandow's comedy routine in WWE. He needs to do more as a serious competitor in TNA, and I'm hoping he will. Anyway, EC3 wins this match and will be the number one contender at Bound for Glory. After the match, Aaron tries to shake Galloway's hand, but Drew Galloway attacks Aaron Rex in the corner. He throws him outside the ring and then throws him into the stairs and starts slamming his head into the stairs. I like the aggression from Galloway, and maybe this will lead to a Galloway-Aaron Rex match at Bound for Glory. That's what I'm assuming is going to happen, so Aaron actually has something good to do. So that was a good ending to the show. Overall, I enjoyed the show much more than I enjoyed Raw this week, because Raw is just a boring 3 hours of dribble, but I'll get into that next week. The strong points, of course, Matt Hardy, always the biggest. The knockout title stuff was good too. It was entertaining. Entertainment is good in wrestling. There should be more of it. The main event was also good. There were some little things like the vignette with Galloway and EC3 I did not really like, but that's just small things. I'm glad that they're having many more vignettes. They are trying to be different than WWE, and it's working for me. So right now, even though I have not watched TNA consistently most of the year, but lately I have been, thanks to Matt Hardy, of course, and his broken brilliance and his delete. TNA is a good alternative to WWE right now, and if you're not watching, I recommend that you should. I will see you all next week for the TNA review again. I will be doing a WWE review as well. I might even be doing a review on Vince Russo's Rocky Mountain Pro that now has a national TV deal with Hunt TV. I've been watching his shows and he has all the good stuff, so keep an eye out for that too. Yeah, thank you for watching. Oh, and visit boxoftalks.com, BOXOFTALKS.com.